Hello everyone and welcome back to Football Manager 2019 and a brand new experiment today where we're taking a look what would happen if every player in the entire game was released from their club. Now you can see in the Premier League, if we start with Arsenal, they have nobody in their senior squad under 23s and under 18s, and it doesn't matter what club you go to, what league they're in the Russian Premier League, Lokomotiv Moscow have nobody there. And just to prove the point further, if we go to the shortlist, you will see that nobody has any value because they are all released throughout the entire game. It's a total reset of world football. Now, before we get into this experiment, do drop a like on the video if you're interested to see where this one goes. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new here as well. And what we're going to do is go forward today 1 year into the future. Most of the big players will have been hired. We'll see where they've gone, which teams have done the best out of this, and we'll also manage to see if there's been any shake-up in the way European football looks. Now, just before we do go ahead as well, I do have a cold at the moment, so if it sounds a little bit odd, that is the reason why. But I want to keep getting you guys that daily content where I can. So let's go forward 1 year in time and see the big moves. Well, we are now 1 year into the future, and as you can see, there are not too many changes to this Premier League table. Manchester City have won the league, Arsenal in second, probably a bigger surprise, Spurs and United all just behind them. Chelsea, 86 points, didn't qualify for the Champions League. But my team Newcastle have done really well, 71 points, finishing in 6th, they benefited from this. Liverpool seem to have struggled quite a lot. So if we have a look at Manchester City's players, you can see they managed to pick up Eden Hazard, Kylian Mbappe, Milinkovic-Savic, Thiago, Diego Costa is in the team, Virgil van Dijk, Hummels, Skriniar, Lucas Moura. It's a fantastic team this. They've even got Neuer down here as well, Dzeko, Kimmich, Wolf Sahar and Mike Maignan, who, Mike is an odd name for a Frenchman, I have to say. But it's a very, very strong team, and no surprise that they've managed to win the league with a team like that. Arsenal have Lionel Messi and Paulo Dybala, Mane, Forsberg, Marquinhos, Dele Alli has jumped from Spurs to Arsenal as well, De Gea in goal, Aguero up top as well. It's a really strong side that. Messi, Dybala and Aguero in the same team, that's a lot of Argentinian talent. But Dele Alli in there as well, and De Gea between the sticks. They've done extremely well bringing those players in. Tottenham Hotspur have Bale, Firmino, they've got Kante in the team. Some of their players are decent English players, but they are maybe not world class, so they've done well to finish third with this team. It's a good team, but it's not quite as strong as the two that we just looked at. And Manchester United, they've got Lewandowski, Isco, Higuain, Asensio, Pjanic, Boateng is in there, Dembele as well, PK, Vidal. It's a very, very strong side, and you could argue they are potentially underperforming by finishing 4th. Chelsea just missed out, despite getting a points total that would win most Premier League titles. You can see they've got Eriksen, Douglas Costa has joined the team, Muller and Sterling in there as well. They've got Alisson from Liverpool, Davison Sanchez is a decent FIFA team, but it is not as strong as those other teams that we've seen. Now, who have Newcastle got to finish 6th? They've picked up Marcus Rashford. Çalhanoğlu Pereira has done really well. I'm pretty sure he used to play. Oh no, he played for Watford, didn't he? I'm thinking of Ferreira. Lucas up top as well, who plays for West Ham, is now worth 23 million. He moved to Spain on loan. He's joined Newcastle and somehow got a huge valuation out of it. Luciano Vieto, much better player. Van der Beek, a good youngster as well. It's not that strong a team, so they've overperformed finishing that high up. Liverpool down here. Bernardo Silva, Lemar, Coman, some good wide players there. They've got, I mean, it's an okay team. They've not done brilliantly there, it has to be said. Liverpool, they've underperformed dramatically. West Ham were always going to do decent out of this. And you can see they've got Wilson, Lascelles. They've just got a decent Premier League team. That's not even a great side. It's pretty poor, actually. So it must say a lot for teams like Wolves that they haven't signed many players. And you can see they've only got 4 players above £3 million. They've got James Ward-Prowse, he's in on loan from Olympique Marseille, and Mario Lemina in on loan from Monaco. Wolves haven't spent a blooming penny. They've just absolutely cheapskated it. And you can see Everton picked up David Luiz as their marquee signing, but they've not really picked up anybody either. They've got a really poor team, relying on loan players to try and get them through. I don't know why they do that instead of just going out and signing players, but Fulham again relying on loan players. They've got no value in their team whatsoever. This £18.75 million player is in on loan, so some teams have really struggled to adjust to this new system. Cardiff as well down there. I mean, these teams, the bottom 5 didn't even reach 30 points. Crystal Palace, very few players. That is such a small squad to be having in the Premier League. And when we look at the under-23s, there's not much in here either. So they are playing really bad teams out there. So the Premier League is quite interesting, the way that everything has moved around there. If we go and look at Real Madrid, they did manage to win La Liga. They finished with 95 points. Valencia in second. Barcelona just below them on goal difference in third place. You can see Zaza finishing top scorer at Icardi for Real Madrid, then Timo Werner. Real Madrid, if we look at their players, they've got Antoine Griezmann leading the line now with Mauro Icardi. Willian's a good player. Aubameyang, there's some dangerous strikers there. Martial as well. Titi, Tolisso, Mkhitaryan, Verratti. They've got a really, really strong side. Maybe struggling a little bit with their goalkeeper. They've got Szczesny in goal. He's worth 48 million apparently. That seems a little bit high to me, but who knows. Iker Casillas is back in the team as well. He has rejoined Real Madrid at 38 years old as their backup keeper. That's a nice little story. Barcelona, they've got Cavani, Koke, Fabinho, Alonso. It's a strong side. This Mertens is a very good player. Navas from Real Madrid has joined Barcelona. Thiago Silva as well, but not as strong as the Real Madrid team, I would suggest. Valencia, who managed to finish above Barcelona, have done really well because this isn't that strong a team. They don't have any really, really world-class players in here. There's a lot of very, very good players, don't get me wrong. And Moussa Dembele, their big signing, really. Thomas Partey is a very good player as well from Atletico Madrid there. And Atletico Madrid, where are they? They finished down in 10th place. They did get Arthur, Fazer, Felipe, Banega as well. Balotelli is at the club. But after that, they are really struggling for good players. They do not have the financial firepower to really compete in a situation like this. And they've ended up finishing way behind teams like Real Betis, or Real Hispalis as they're called here, who have picked up some decent all-round players. Gary Cahill now playing in Spain. But if we have a look for Cristiano Ronaldo, that is a terrible attempt at a spelling, isn't it? I cannot type right now. He's playing in the MLS for Atlanta United. He's worth 14 million at the moment. He joined them from Real Madrid. He scored a lot of goals in the MLS, more than one a game, as you would expect from Ronaldo. He's only on 155 grand a week. That is a surprise that he has gone to the MLS, that the game has taken him to the MLS. I was not expecting that. If we have a look at Neymar, he is currently playing in China. Neymar has gone to China for the paycheck, and he didn't score in his first league season, but he's got 9 and 9 in the most recent one. I did not expect him to end up at China. He's on £450,000 a week. That is absolutely crazy. If we look at, let's have a look at Zlatan. He's now playing in the Middle East, which is a bit of a surprise. He's gone there. He's not even scoring that many goals. Paul Pogba. He's now at PSG. I bet they've got an absolutely sensational team out of this. If we look, you can see Harry Kane, Leroy Sané, Paul Pogba, Lukaku, Emre Can, Morata's in there. This is a very, very strong side. They've got Donnarumma as well. It's strong right across the board as well, so they are going to have done extremely well. It's worth looking at Juventus as well, who did win Serie A, and you can see they've got De Bruyne, Kovacic, Draxler, Varane. A really strong side. Bayern Varane, again, I've been playing a lot of FIFA recently, so I've got it on the brain, but you can see that would be a fantastic team. They have done extremely well as well. So the real question is, who has gone out and won the Champions League? You can see Real Madrid are the current holders. If we look at that previous season, starting out in the quarterfinals, then Napoli beat Bayern Munich, Juventus knocked out United, PSG took out Liverpool, and Real Madrid beat Schalke. At the semi-final stage, Real Madrid and PSG making it through to the final, where Real Madrid won it 2-1. And if we just have a look here at Bayern Munich's side, they're another massive side. They have picked up Marco Reus, still taking players from Dortmund. And if we look at the Bundesliga, Bayer Leverkusen are the most recent winners of this competition. They've done really well there to beat Bayern Munich, and they've got some decent players, but it's not a fantastic team. Nothing about that screams Bundesliga winners. So Bayern Munich have done really badly because they have got a really strong team here. They've got Ter Stegen in goal, Royce, Keita, Felipe Anderson, Laporte and Dyer as well. Harry Maguire, how are they not winning the Bundesliga with Harry Maguire in defence? Borussia Dortmund ended up finishing third that season. They've got a decent side. Nothing too spectacular there. They've done well to get Kevin Mbabu, who does become a great player in this save. Where else do we need to have a look? Let's have a look if we've missed any of the major leagues. We've seen all of the big leagues and the way that they have panned out. We've seen the Champions League. Let's have a look at the Europa League. If we go to the Champions Cup, drop down, look at the previous season and go to that quarter-final stage. Ufa have managed to make it to the quarter-finals, and they've got, there's no reason why they should have made it to that point, but they've done really well to do so. Beaten by Real Betis, so Arsenal knocking out Bayer, Valencia knocking out Krasnodar. They've got Vincius Jr., that's a good signing. Bernard in there as well, Begovic. They've put a decent team together in the Russian Premier League. Chelsea beating Hoffenheim there, and in the semi-finals, Chelsea and Real Betis getting the wins. And when we get to the final, Chelsea have managed to win that. Now let's just try and think of a few other key players. If we look for Mohamed Salah, he has gone to China as well. Gang Zhao picking up a pretty decent set there. They've got Neymar and Salah in their team. If we look at their squad, they've got Philippe Coutinho, Toni Kroos, Koulibaly, Allen and Mario Fernandes in there as well. Worth having a look really at the transfers in this league if we can. We can see their transfer history. Can't see the transfer history for their league though, because unfortunately this league is not loaded into the database, so we can't see that in more detail. If we have a look at the shortlist for the entire game though, and maybe sort them by the highest value players, this will have been rebalanced a bit based on the contract they got where they are. But you can see Eden Hazard now at Man City, Bale at Spurs as well. The big players in the big leagues, as they always are. Leroy Sané at PSG, much higher up there. Firmino has moved to Spurs as well. Douglas Costa at Chelsea, Willian at Real Madrid. Romelu Lukaku has also gone to PSG. Higuain at Manchester United. Insigne at Real Madrid as well. Bernardo Silva moved from City to Liverpool. Emil Forsberg at Arsenal. All of them seem to have concentrated at the really big teams. James Rodriguez is gone to Monaco. Worth a quick look at who they picked up, because they do have some financial firepower. You can see they've got Jesus, Vitolo, Williams in there as well. It's a very strong side, that actually. A good balanced team. They did finish second in the league behind PSG. Sterling at Chelsea, Virgil van Dijk at City. I think we have covered the majority of these players because they all seem to have concentrated at the big teams. You can see Jesse Lingard now worth 60 million at Real Sociedad. Any other surprises? Luis Alberto's at Sevilla. Luis Suarez has gone to Shanghai. And if we look at their senior squad, they've also picked up Pedro Fabregas, Glick, David Silva and Luka Modric out there as well. They've picked up some excellent players. So a lot of them moving to China. Bentancur at Napoli. Dembele we've already looked at. I'm just trying to spot any key players. We can see AC Milan have got Arnautovic and Nzonzi. Memphis Depay at their team as well. He's going to be a really good signing. Gelson Mertens. They've got a decent amount of value out of the players that they've picked up. Carrasco's also there. But you can see there's not many second sort of tier teams having picked up great players. This is all the big clubs. Villarreal have got Iago Falque. Monaco we've looked at. Dortmund have got Lautaro Martinez. And Lyon have got Keita Balde. But there is nobody here that you're thinking, oh wow, that team's done extremely well. If it's done anything, all it's done is concentrate the power with the big teams. Now you can see Alexis Sanchez has gone to Heizhou Jingfu in the Chinese Super League. They also got Sergio Busquets. So China doing really well out of this, picking up big players really cheaply on high wages. They've signed some really strong players as well. The Chinese Super League is looking absolutely fantastic right now. Newcastle getting Marcus Rashford, the really big player here. Christensen's gone to Schalke. But there's just nothing here that's a real surprise. Malcolm at Mainz as well. So I'm probably going to leave it there for today's episode. If you want to see another part to this experiment, do drop a like on the video. We could go maybe 5 years into the future and see if there has been any major changes in Europe. If there are particular players you would like me to look up and see where they are that we've not covered today, do let me know down in the comments, and make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new. But until next time, see ya!